So Marvel is now doing crossovers again, whether it be in-house or with DC, even with Toho and Tsuburaya Industries. But in this new age of Marvel crossovers, there's one crossover in particular that I kind of really want to see from them. That crossover being, and this is one I was hoping Dark Horse would do. And it's a crossover I was like begging for Dark Horse to do when they had the rights. But now it's both it's under Marvel, it's all under Fox, which again, I don't know why Disney, I guess it was a Lucasfilms thing that prevented it, but I'm just going to come out and say it. I want Alien versus Star Wars. I want an Alien Star Wars crossover. I have been wanting that for the longest time, and I know tons of people have wanted that, even with Predator. Personally, I would prefer Alien over Predator for a few reasons. I feel like, and again, if they do a Predator one or AVP versus Star Wars, I'd be fine with it too. But the reason why I'm more at home with an Alien versus Star Wars crossover, the reason why I prefer it more is because Predator, there's no way Predators could have hidden in the galaxy for as long as they had. There's so many races out there that could have figured them out. Again, I'm pretty sure Yautja and Trandoshan's Bossk could have figured it. They could have easily figured each other out. Same with Wookiees. There would have been stories passed on through galaxy to galaxy. It's not like in the Marvel universe where you could say, oh, the Predators could hide because these galaxy-wide empires and other planets, they don't really stay in contact with each other and kind of stay on their own fences. And even then, it's kind of then. But in Star Wars, there's so many alien races and so many colonized planets, both human and non-human. They would definitely have stories about about the Yautja. But yeah, I'm not against it. I'm just it feels a little weird because it's somewhat they had to have been known at that point. The Xenomorphs, on the other hand, the Xenomorphs could easily hide in the galaxy because they're not really a spacefaring race like the Yautja. They could have easily, hidden on some backwater planet and been an experiment, and I'll get into an idea for it, but they could have easily hidden the galaxy for centuries and not been noticed. They could have easily just kind of gone on their merry way, and no one would be the wiser to what's going on. That's really how it kind of boils down to, is sorry, I'm tired. But yeah, that's how it kind of boils down, is you could easily, the Xenomorphs are so easy to hide in the galaxy. So yeah, I think it works better on that ground. Now, as for how would I want to do a Star Wars Alien crossover? The thing of it is that I think the best way to do it is maybe have it that it's Empire centric. Have it be again, you see so much fan art of stormtroopers and Vader slashing and shooting their way through waves of xenomorphs. Have it be that on a distant planet there was a Imperial research facility for biological warfare, and something escaped. And the Emperor's he was he doesn't tell Vader the whole story. He just basically tells him enough to be hey, this is this is a vital weapons department, but if you can't save it, blow it up. But I need biological material first and foremost. And he's what's the biological material? And Vader and the Emperor would be you'll know it when you see it. So him and a group of stormtroopers and death troopers go to the planet, and you just have the Vader leading this platoon of stormtroopers fighting their way through xenomorphs. And even have it oh yeah, it's Vader. He can easily beat the xenomorphs. Yeah, but the acid's gonna I could see him cutting a lightsaber through a xenomorph, and the acid blood splashes onto him, or a stormtrooper shoots it and the acid spills on him and it eats through the armor. Yeah, it would be no shock to me that the Empire could probably keep something like that. Now, the other way you could do it is have it be the xenomorphs were on some planet that was a rebel base, went dark, and now Luke and the others are going to this planet to find any survivors, because they were hey, a rebel base went dark, could it be Imperial activity? We don't know. So Luke, you could have the main cast, and maybe a few rebels for cannon fodder go to the planet and encounter these creatures. And you could even have a moment, and you could do this too with the Vader idea too, is that you could have a moment where like Luke tries to like use the Force to like calm one of the xenomorphs, and then it's just like, nope, it's not working. Like it's too basic of a creature, and he's like, there's something else. There's either like it's too strong for it, or it's like Force resistant, or there's something else like manipulating it, and obviously referring to the Queen. Xenomorphs are smarter than it's let on. So I could easily see like a group of Xenomorphs for a brief second, like stop for a second and just start snarling and hissing, and then Luke's like, oh yeah, I got it, and then they just rush at him. So he has to like use his lightsaber to like just cut through them. Because like, yeah, Luke would have that moment where if he encountered the Xenomorphs, it would be like, they're just animals. They're not, they're just animals who want to survive. We didn't know about them, so I'm going to try to calm them down. Oh, nope, that's not working. And I think even like Luke would have like qualms because like he would refer to his teachings, his Jedi teachings and whatnot, and be like, yeah, these creatures, they're of the Force and they're not inherently evil, but we need to protect ourselves here. So I feel like there would be kind of that moral quandary there. Whereas if Vader did it, Vader would be like, they're just in my way, I'm going to kill them. So I think you could go either way. Who would I get to write this comic? I would say, I think Charles Soule, because he's done enough in Star Wars and knows the characters. I think it would be also interesting to see how he'd write Alien. It's not hard, like, how to write the aliens on a whole. For others, who would I want on this? Maybe, especially if it's, I would say Soule, especially if it's the Vader book, if it's the Vader idea. I would also say Karen Gillan would be kind of cool, because I've seen Karen Gillan do some alien stuff too, and it's pretty cool. I would even say Philip Kennedy Johnson come back to do some alien books, and I'd love to see what he'd do with Star Wars. But yeah. Also, on a side note, this is another thing, Marvel, you have no excuse, first and foremost, Marvel has no excuse not to do this as a legit crossover now. And you could say, but the canon! You don't have to, like, you can say it's either canon or not. Like, you can just say it's just a wayward mission that no one really talked about, or you can just say it's not canon. You can easily put it under the Legends title. That's the other thing. On top of that, what was I going to say? Another crossover I desperately want Marvel to do, because it's now under their wheelhouse entirely, I would love, and this is where I'd want Predator. I would want a AVP or just Predator versus Planet of the Apes. I would absolutely, because that's easy. Like, you just have a Predator land on the Planet of the Apes, and you could either do the Caesar era or the Caesar timeline or the original movie timeline. I would be fine either way. Maybe have some Xenomorphs in there too. It's easy. It's not that hard. I want to see a Predator hunt, fight, guerrilla soldiers and like, how cool would it be? Like, the cover alone of like the Predator holding an ape skull with like the helmet on it it's just perfect. Yeah. But you guys tell me in the comments below, do you guys want to finally see a Star Wars Alien crossover, or would you prefer Star Wars Predator? And yeah, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse. Please, Marvel, you have no excuse not to do this. Would print so much money. I'm just saying. All right, that was the last thing I wanted to mention. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. See you next time in the multiverse.